I'd never suffered from nightmares before, but I did that night, or day, or whatever. They came in waves, each worse than the last. The first began with me taking a shower. I just started washing when I noticed the tub was filling with blood. The metallic smell filled my nostrils. I tried to pull the shower curtain up to get out, but I couldn't. The tub kept filling with blood, inching up my legs until it started to overflow the sides. In the second dream, I was lost in the woods, deep in the woods. I was surrounded by trees that pressed in on me. I could feel the heaviness of their bark squeezing against my chest. I couldn't turn. I couldn't move. The branches slashed at me, ripped open my flesh, and when I tried to fight back, they entwined themselves around my wrist. I was being crushed to death by trees. I floated from that dream into the last, into the most terrifying one of all. My eyes were closed, and no matter how hard I tried, I couldn't pry them open. A steady thumping sound reverberated in my ears, and I couldn't get my hands up to shut it out. I was locked in a small, confined space. When I realized what was happening to me, I did my best to scream, but nothing came out. I was being buried alive, locked inside a coffin. The thudding sound that kept getting louder and louder was the sound of dirt being shoveled onto the casket as the hole was being backfilled. I awoke, sitting straight up in bed, clutching my chest and gasping for air. It was cold, too cold for a September morning, or evening as it turned out to be. It was 7 o'clock at night when I came out of my dreams. I swung my legs over the side of the bed and just sat there for a few minutes, regaining my composure. I thought about taking a shower, but after the first dream, I thought I'd skip it. When I was finally able to stand, I walked over to the window and looked out. My bedroom was also in the back of the house, and I could see the willow over to my left. The fact that there was no breeze tonight was evidenced by the willow's branches hanging absolutely still. I let the curtain I was holding aside drop back down and turned to go downstairs. I half expected another fight when I turned, but nothing happened. I crossed the room to the door, then stopped. As I passed the mirror, I noticed something odd. I went back over to it. What I was looking at shouldn't be. I reached up and ran my fingers across my cheeks. They were absolutely smooth, but they shouldn't have been. There were several scratches in them when I'd gone to bed, leftovers from last night's brawl, but they were gone, completely healed, as if they'd never been there. There was something else odd, too. Perhaps it was because I hadn't been eating or sleeping right, but my skin seemed more pallid than I'd ever seen it. I was coming apart, and I thought, you better do something, Richard, my boy, before you really are dead and buried. You look terrible. I didn't know why, but when I got downstairs, I had the oddest feeling that I should check the front porch. When I opened the door, I found an envelope thumbtacked to it. I pried it off, closed the door, and went into the kitchen to make some coffee. As it brewed, I opened the envelope and read the note. It was from Jacob. Mr. Millay, things are turning faster than I had hoped, and you are coming along slower than I'd hoped. There's a rhyme and a reason for everything in this world, even the things that don't seem to fit in right. You need to bring yourself back to reality and stop fooling yourself. Your wife, Ronnie, understood. I've spent many years looking after you as best I could, and I'm wearing out. There's only so much I can do for you. You have to come into your own soon, or it will be too late. You need to remember yourself. You need to pull yourself together. You need to take control and bring order to your house, or all will be lost. Jacob Waters.